What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about being smart and picking a party that'll give you the best chance to succeed in Darkest Dungeon 2. Choosing your heroes is the most influential decision you'll make each run and greatly affects how successful you'll be. Each hero can be built into different roles, but not all roles are required for a successful party. I mean, to be completely honest, the game is so well balanced that with the right strategy and the right amount of luck, you can really make any party combination work. So, why was I making this video again? Oh, yeah, because fuck that luck shit. We are independent thinkers who only rely on our big brains and sheer willpower to become successful. And what's more rewarding than being successful in a video game? I literally can't think of anything. My name is Parkatek. Let's get going. Alright. So the first thing we need to talk about are unlocks. It's your very first time playing the game, you're only gonna have 4 heroes unlocked. The rest of the heroes are unlocked through gaining hope and growing your player level. Basically, you gain hope from playing the game, so all you have to do is play the game to unlock the rest of the heroes. Once you acquire a new hero, including the first 4 you start off with, the first thing you're gonna notice is that they have 5 combat skills unlocked and 6 more that are locked. To unlock combat skills, you'll need to visit hero shrines during a playthrough with that specific character. Do this 5 times with each hero to unlock all 6 of the new combat skills, with the last one unlocking the final 2. Now this will take much more time than unlocking the heroes themselves, but once you've unlocked heroes and their combat skills, they are done and you will not need to unlock them again. Now, assuming you have all of the heroes and all of the heroes' combat skills unlocked, we can talk about roles. Each hero can play multiple roles, and each hero can play more than one role at a time. There are 3 main roles, being tank, support, and damage. Alright, so let's talk about tanks first. Tanks are your big guys that are going to be up front, that are going to be drawing attacks so that your squishy support and damage dealers don't have to take too much damage. You're going to want your tank to have high HP so that it can take a lot of hits. You're going to want to look for a taunt so that it'll force enemies to attack it. You're going to want self-sufficient skills such as self-healing and self-stress healing. And you're going to look for damage mitigation, which comes in the form of block tokens and dodge tokens. As of right now, the 3 best tank heroes in the game are Man-at-Arms, Hellion, and Leper. Next up is support. A support hero is one that's not going to be tanking damage and also not going to be dealing damage. They can fill several different roles in order to be a support, such as healing, stress healing, buffing, or debuffing. Being a healer is pretty self-explanatory. When your hero's health starts to get low, you bring it back up. Being a stress healer is kind of the opposite. When stress starts to get high, you want to bring it back down. If you want to focus your support on buffing, they're going to add positive tokens and other buffs to your party members to make them stronger. And on the flip side, if you want to focus on debuffing, they're going to add negative tokens and negative debuffs to the enemy team to make them weaker. Plague Doctor, Jester, and Occultist are probably the 3 best supports, but all heroes can support to a certain degree. Finally, we have damage dealers. These guys have the most straightforward role. They're just gonna try to deal damage and kill enemies as quickly as possible. However, there are a few different types of damage abilities and different ways to deal damage. The first form of damage is referred to as flat damage. Flat damage is just the standard damage number you see when you hit somebody and one number pops up. This is divided into ranged and melee damage, which is really only affected by certain skills and items that might enhance one or the other. The other main type of damage is damage over time, or dots. This comes in the form of the 3 Bs, burn, bleed, and blight. This is basically a debuff that you add to an enemy that damages them each turn for a set amount of turns. While the initial damage on dots is smaller than flat damage, they can stack, which can lead to some very big numbers if given enough time. Grave Robber, Highwayman, and Runaway are great damage dealers, but once again, all heroes can be built into the damage dealing role. Okay, now that we've talked about unlocking everything, and we've talked about the roles, it's time to talk about Hero Pass. Hero Pass are randomly assigned traits to each hero that occur whenever you start a new run. There are 6 total possibilities for hero paths, with 3 of them being shared across all heroes and 3 of them being unique to each individual hero. The shared hero paths are Wanderer, Apprentice, and Master. Wanderer is the most common hero path, as it essentially is a blank slate. It doesn't change any skills, and it doesn't change any stats. It just gives you the hero as they are. Apprentice is almost the same as Wanderer, except for the fact that there is one combat skill that has been freely upgraded. Master is the most rare hero path, and is similar to Apprentice, except for instead of only one combat skill being upgraded, every single combat skill on that hero starts off upgraded. Now, as I had said before, each hero also has 3 unique hero paths. These are a lot more complex than the previous 3 and have the biggest effect on gameplay. While I won't be going through every single unique hero path in this video, I will be making separate video to cover them all, as they do greatly change the role that you might want to be playing that hero in. Alright, so now you're probably wondering, great, I got all this information, I know how to unlock everything, how do I put together a good party? There isn't really a simple answer to that, but what I can do is give you kind of a guideline of what you're going to want to look for. Now, like I had said before with the roles, pretty much every hero can deal damage if they want to. So the roles that I like to focus on are Tank, Healer, and Stress Healer. Man-at-Arms, Hellion, and Leper can all be built into great solo tanks. These 3 can also be built into off tanks, along with some of the other heroes like Highwayman or Grave Robber. Off tanks are going to be similar to tanks in that they're going to be up front and they're going to have pretty good survivability, but they'll also be able to deal a good amount of damage. If you like that idea, I'd suggest going with 2 off tanks, as 1 usually isn't enough to survive some of the later regions. Once you've got the tank role taken care of, the next thing I like to think about is Healer. As of now, there's only 3 healers in the game that can heal other heroes besides themselves. These are Plague Doctor, Occultist, and Runaway. Runaway's heal can only be used 3 times per encounter and requires the hero to be bleeding. So in that sense, she's really better utilized as a supplemental healer rather than a main healer. Which leaves us with Plague Doctor and Occultist. I almost always take one or the other, but if your party includes a lot of heroes that can self-heal themselves, you might be able to get by with only Runaway or with none of them at all. Stress healing, on the other hand, is a much more important thing to cover in my opinion. Stress is something that can get out of hand really quickly and develop poor relationships between your heroes. This then snowballs the effect, making things worse and worse as you go and making it really hard to recover from. Because of that, I always try to have at least 2 stress healers in my party. Man-at-Arms, Jester, and Hellion are the 3 best party stress healers, but there are a few others that can stress heal themselves. Once again, you're just going to want pretty good coverage here. If you have a good group of heroes that can stress heal themselves, you'll probably only need one of these guys. The last thing that you want to consider for your party are damage dealers. The main thing here is what type of damage you want to focus. Now, of course, every party is going to have somewhat of a mix of flat damage and damage over time, but the most efficient thing to do is to focus primarily on one of those. If you want to focus on flat damage, you want to be taking heroes that can hit hard and support heroes that can increase their damage or crit. Some of the heroes that excel at flat damage are Grave Robber, Highwayman, Hellion, Leper, and Occultist. If you want to focus on damage over time, you basically just want to choose all the heroes that can apply dots so that they stack up quicker, dealing more damage faster. Heroes with good damage over time skills include Plague Doctor, Runaway, Hellion, and Jester, along with Highwayman and Grave Robber, who have pretty good damage over time skills, although they each only have 1. Now, once you've settled on what type of damage you want to be dealing, the very last thing to consider is reach. Basically, you just want to make sure that your heroes can hit enemies in the front lines as well as enemies in the back lines. There's really 2 ways to do this. You can either choose heroes that have good backline damage to deal with the enemies in the back as soon as possible, or you can have all of your enemies dealing with the front rank enemies and then choose heroes with good corpse clearing skills. Plague Doctor, Highwayman, Runaway, Grave Robber, and Occultist can all deal pretty good backline damage. And if you're looking for corpse clearing skills, Leper, Plague Doctor, Occultist, and Grave Robber got you covered. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And don't forget to check out some of my other Darkest Dungeon 2 videos. My name is Parkitech. Peace.